I wanted to write about the Vestal Virgins because there is so little known about them, and they were a very long-standing cult. And I thought it was a very fascinating idea that women projected their fertility onto the fire, which in turn protected all of Rome. And I think through history there's been a lot of attachments to or manipulations of women's fertility, and I find, or magical qualities and so forth. So I find that really interesting. And I just, considering the punishment, I wanted to write about a Vestal Virgin who would act out and risk that punishment to be buried alive. And I thought that was an interesting story. The research I did for the Virgin's Tale was a lot of articles and journals, historical textbooks. I was lucky enough to still be in contact with my classics professor, and she was a great help in finding out information or pointing me in the right direction for research. Essentially, because there is so little known about the Vestal Virgins, most of my research entailed like the social history aspects, and that's what I focused on. In a film adaptation of The Virgin's Tale, if I had a choice to choose the actress and actor, I think I would choose Emily Blunt as Amelia, and I think Christian Bale in The Machinist, though, when he's really thin, as Lysander, the Greek slave. My favorite Canadian author is Margaret Atwood, definitely. I would say Canada and beyond. I absolutely love Margaret Atwood. I've read everything she has ever written, and probably would read a grocery list by her. My average day consists of waking up and having some coffee. I read the entertainment section because it's too early for bad news. I go for a walk with my dogs, and I begin to write, and I arrange my day around a certain word count that I like to reach, and some days I reach it early and I'll continue to write, and other days are more difficult. And I will usually go make dinner at that point and come back to it tomorrow. Some of the tricks I use to help me through the writing process is a lot of Post-it notes. I'm not really much for outlines, but I do take notes. And when I'm stuck, I'll walk away and go make dinner and do something else briefly. If my dogs are barking, I'll give them a rawhide. But usually at the end of the day, I'll leave something in mid-action or mid-scene, so I have something to come back to the next day and get back into the story. I am working on another historical fiction novel set in 17th century Southwest Germany, and it centers on a tavern keeper's wife and her son, and it focuses on the role children had during this period, both as witch hunters and confessors of being a witch. And it's a period I was always drawn to. I recently just came off a long Ian McEwan kick. I read Atonement and just adored it, and so I went back and read the rest of his work, and I love each of his books. I'm currently reading Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides, and I just started it, but I think it's an amazing story so far as well. The characters just seem to lift off the page, and it's a really great read. When I was young, I always wanted to be a telemarketer. It was a great goal of mine to sell credit cards at exaggerated rates. And writing was a fallback job, and I'm glad I kept the writing thing going because telemarketing didn't work out.